A lot of knitters prefer to avoid make one increases because they think that they look messy. If you're one of those knitters, then this video is for you. In it, I'll share with you a quick tip that I use that helps make my own make one increases look neater. We've all been there. You see a pattern for a beautiful sweater knit top down in the round and you think, I gotta have that. And then you get the pattern and you see that it involves make one increases. Make one increases are created when you lift the bar of yarn between two stitches and orient it on your needle in such a way that when you knit through it, you're either making the stitch, you're creating a new stitch that either leans to the right or to the left. When you first start making make one increases, it can be difficult to remember whether you're supposed to knit through the front of the stitch or through the back. Well, that's a problem that's easily solved. Just remember the phrase, be right back. Make one right is knit through the back of the loop. If you remember left out front, you'll remember that make one left is knit through the front of the loop. But then there's a bigger problem that comes with make one increases, and that is the fact that they tend to look a little bit skewed or a little bit sloppy. This becomes particularly noticeable on raglan style sweaters because those knit stitches are creating a fake seam line across the shoulders of the sweater. Basically what you want to do is you want to make sure that those stitches stay consistent and relatively tight. So here I've got raglan increases along the back neckline of a sweater that I'm working on, and I'm working in cotton yarn because often cotton yarn is the real bear, right? It becomes a little bit more noticeable with that. So what I try to remind myself to do is that, normally when you do an increase, you just kind of in the stitch, or if you're going in between the stitch, we have a tendency to really yank on that stitch and just pull it up onto the needle and then knit through it. So you want to make sure that you're moving much more cautiously and carefully when you're making an increase. So this is supposed to be a make one right increase here, right? So I'm going to just take it and very gently, and see how I barely lift it. Barely lift it. And then knitting through the back, again, I'm barely lifting it. Right? Hardly moving it, keeping it very close to the tips of the needle. And I just let it go off and work the next stitch. Right? And so that's a trick you can kind of keep in mind. Just be very careful with it, work it very close to the tips of the needle, and avoid that impulse to almost treat it like every other stitch and stretch it out. If there's a particular knitting technique or stitch that gives you trouble, drop a comment down below and let me know. Maybe I have a quick solution that can help you out.